Hey guys, it is time for the inspiration of the day, and today's inspiration is going to come from Matthew chapter 5, verse 13, and I'm going to read it from the Passion Translation. And I want us to think about this, listen to what it's saying, because sometimes we get down, right? And we get depressed and we get sad and we don't have that joy, or we're not reflecting the joy of the Lord. So let's listen to what Matthew says, right? And then we'll talk about it some more. It says, your lives are like salt among the people. But if you, like salt, become bland, how can your saltiness be restored? Flavorless salt is good for nothing and will be thrown out and trampled on by others. Wow. I said we can get down, we can get discouraged, we can almost like lose our faith, and so when we become like that, when we have shown the light of God, or we've been the flavor, that spice to other people, right? And people look to us and they see, wow, I can see why they love the Lord. I can see what God is doing in their life, because He's just bringing them up. But let's be really honest. In life, we are going to go through trials and tribulations, and we're going to kind of lose our spice. We're going to lose that flavor. You're going to look at us and you're going to look at me and you're like, wow, Angie doesn't seem as overjoyed or engaged in God. And I hope that never happens. I hope I learn how to bring that saltiness back into it before it ever gets to that point. But when it gets to that point, the question is, how can you bring that saltiness, that flavor, that spice, that people could see, that made you reflect the image and likeness of God? It is truly not that difficult. Maybe not a real salt, but with us. See, when we engage in God, when we connect with God, when we spend time with God, when we just sit back and meditate on who God is, when we reflect in our minds what He did for us in our lives, even though we're in this bad spot, what happens is that we can be rejuvenated. See, unlike the salt, when salt loses its flavor, it literally has to be thrown out. But as the children of God, when we lose our spice or our seasoning for God, we can just really think back on what God has done. Like the time He helped you with your job, or He healed you from your sickness, or maybe the time that you thought nobody loved you, and then there's these people that came through to let you know how important you are in their lives. That is how we regain our saltiness, and God reminds us of who we are in Him. In Him, who we are in Him. Because it ain't about me. It's just not about me. I can do nothing in and of myself, but through Christ, I can do all things, including regain my saltiness. I can become that spice. So when you lose your spice, when you forgot what God has done, I want you to sit back and I want you to bring it in and go, God, you were there with me in the beginning. You set a path for me that I really didn't know I was supposed to be on. And you have loved me. You have cared for me. You've stood by me. You've never left me or forsaken me. Encourage yourself. So when you lose your saltiness and your flavor and your spice, and it doesn't seem like you're reflecting God, I want you to take a time out. I know I'm being repetitive, right? Because it's so important. Because saints, we do get discouraged. Don't let anybody tell you that you won't get discouraged. Elijah got discouraged, and he sat in a cave, right? After showing the flavor of God, he got discouraged, and God had to say, hey, get up. Get up. I'm telling you, wake up. Your flavor and what God is doing is not over. He's still working in your life. Let's about we work with them. We can regain our seasoning. We're not to be thrown out, because God always has a plan and a purpose for us. You guys have a great day. I hope that blesses your heart. I hope that encourages you, because I know somebody out there is like, God, what's going on? He's still using you. It's just a part of the test and a part of the journey. Bye, guys.